We're taking a short ride through Chattooga County. Chattooga County, Georgia is a beautiful place. This is Summerville, the county seat. The entire county spans over 300 square miles and has over 25,000 residents. It's easy to see why Summerville would be the county seat. Keep in mind, this is the best of the best, and yet it is distressed. The Appalachian Regional Commission has designated Chattooga County as distressed. The ARC was formed in 1965 by an act of Congress with the purpose of closing the gap, the socioeconomic gaps between distressed counties in Appalachia and the rest of the nation. The number of distressed counties can be seen on their website. But what constitutes a distressed county? Distressed counties are designed or are designated by an index. That index is the result of a formula that includes at least 3 components: sustained unemployment, sustained poverty levels, and low per capita incomes. Once an index has been assigned, the numbers are calculated, and the lowest 50 counties are identified as distressed. Because it's so important that we address the great disparities in Appalachia, President Barack Obama has put $95 million into his budget for 2016. That $95 million is to be administered by the Appalachian Regional Commission, the ARC. When I first thought about that, $95 million, I thought that was a lot of money, but as I gave it a little bit more thought, if only the 25,000 persons in Chattooga County receive that money, they'd all get about a little less than $4. What the ARC does is leverage that money by collaborating and partnering with local businesses and other plans, programs. That $95 million can go where it needs to go and do a lot more work. The ARC's classification doesn't only include distressed. Many counties can be at risk, transitional, competitive, or at attainment. In Chattooga County, one of the challenges is unemployment. This is Mount Vernon Mills. Mount Vernon Mills is the only plant in town. If you'll notice, there are 2 baseball fields flanking Mount Vernon Mills. Right behind it is the waterway. And when I spoke to residents who did not want to say anything negative, they told me that everyone that works there gets cancer. Taking a ride further into the county, we realize what distressed really means. There are not a lot of businesses, not a lot of highways going through or new homes going up. The homes that are here are about half of what the state of Georgia's average home value is, about $63,000. There are 84 residents per square mile as far as density goes. And while we might think it's very charming to look at the older buildings, especially the barns, the old railroad car that's sitting idle, you've got to realize that isolation has played a big part in what we see here. I did have an opportunity to talk to some Chattooga County residents about what goes on here. And I got two extremely different views. One family who's been in the area for a long time told me that Chattooga County has been good to them. Another told me that unfortunately they were unable to get away. They can't afford it. The population of Chattooga County has declined. In 2014, the population was over 26,000. Today, it's a little over 25,000.
Glass and things like that to mass produce stuff, but
I don't know if this is anything like this. It's a music box.
oh my goodness.
But I don't know if that was factory made or somebody actually made it. So it's kind of hard to tell. That'd be considered a craft.
It looks like somebody made this.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Tracy, do you? Okay, look at this. See, I wonder if those are little stones and things from the area. Or...
I don't know. That was my mother's.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those that were mass produced.
Okay, well, where did the rocks come from?
I have. Okay. Now, this right here is folk art. Are you familiar with the textures?
I am so sorry.
You want me to get it out so you can get a good picture?
Meeting the people of Chattooga County was my greatest joy. This project allowed me to put a face and name to some of the residents of Georgia's only distressed county. But they don't know they're distressed. There's a lot of strength here. As we toured Tracy's shop, it's called Little Trey's Curiosity Shop, she showed me some of the highlights of the shop. This is Finster folk art. There's a huge celebration around Howard Finster's folk art, once a year. Doilies like this and other handmade items can be purchased at the flea market every Saturday and sometimes on Tuesday. The items in her shop made me feel at home, and Tracy made me feel at home. Right next door, we stopped for barbecue. The Mosleys have been in the Chattooga area for generations, and she told me, quite frankly, Chattooga County's been very good to her. The question is, do we even care about distressed counties? Do we even care about distressed counties? Well, of course we do. We're social workers. We care about everything. But Chattooga County is Georgia's only distressed county. This is over 300 acres, 84-person density per mile. The distressed county means that they're in the lowest 10% of counties in the entire nation. The disparity between Appalachia and the distressed counties and the rest of the counties of the United States is extreme. It is narrowing focus. It is narrowing, but not nearly fast enough. Chattooga County was not on the list last year. In 2014, Georgia had no distressed counties. In 2015, we have one. We don't want to make this a pattern. Social workers also care about distressed counties because issues of social injustice are our responsibility. The very nature of social injustice means that people cannot necessarily fix their own problems. It is up to us to look at the statistics, look physically at the people that live in these counties, and then take up their cause. Thank you.